Today, we're going to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder's overtime win against the Philadelphia 76ers in the Peak. Thunder get the win 127 to 119 in overtime. They outscored the Sixers 20 to 12 in overtime. They came out firing in overtime. Chris Paul and Danilo Gallinari combined for 23 for 23 at the free throw line, which is something new and exciting to see from a Thunder team. It's been a while since they were awesome at free throws like that. It's been forever. Let's just talk about some stats. Danilo Gallinari came out. He was ready to play. 11 for 11 at the free throw line. 28 points, 7 rebounds, 3 for 5 from 3. Chris Paul, he also came out. He was the closer in the fourth quarter. It's awesome. He's finding his role. I'd love to see him close the game in the fourth quarter. He's been really good at it the last few games, and he's figured out that's pretty much what his role in the team is, to manage the game, and then come out and close the game in the fourth quarter. And tonight he really showed that he can do that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 24 points. He was 9 for 19, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. He kind of started out a little bit slow in the first half, but he kind of picked things up in the second half and really helped Chris Paul kind of close the fourth quarter a little bit. He was having a hard time getting into the paint and getting his layups like he likes to, because the Sixers are a big team. Not a whole lot of small guys on that team, and they like to guard the paint, and they did a pretty good job at it for a majority of the game, especially while SGA was out there. Terrence Ferguson was 7 for 9, 5 for 7 from 3, 19 points. So good to see him be aggressive on offense. That's what I've been waiting for him to do all season. It was awesome. I love when T. Ferg's aggressive on offense, because he can really have a good game. And he showed that, and he really stepped up since we didn't have Hamidou Diallo to come score off the bench. So T. Ferg in the starting lineup, he said, you know what, I got this. 19 points. Good to see him bounce back, because we know he's had some off the court issues last couple of days. So it was awesome to see him come out and ball out without the dreads. We love him bald T. Ferg right now. Nerlens Noel fouled out of this game. 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 6 points. Dennis Schroder didn't have a great game. He was 3 for 9 from the field, 4 assists and 8 points. So he didn't really play a whole lot in the fourth quarter. Obviously not his best game. We'd like to see Dennis bounce back. In the next couple games, he's had 2 bad games in a row, but nobody played good against the Pacers, so really just kind of counted as one game almost. Steven Adams, let's talk about Steven Adams. He didn't really have a whole lot of stuff on the stat sheet. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists though. 4 assists, good to see from Adams. 1 steal and 2 blocks. It really felt like a Steven Adams kind of game. He played really good on defense, and not a lot of the stuff he did showed up on the stat sheet. And even though it wasn't his best game statistically, just kind of giving it the old eye test, it really did feel like Adams' best game. He was out there, did pretty good against Joel Embiid. Obviously, he's Joel Embiid. He's gonna score. He had 31 points, but like I said, he's Joel Embiid. He's gonna score. I think Steven Adams really did a good job. Nerlens Noel, when Steven Adams did have to come out, didn't too bad in the first quarter when he had to guard Joel Embiid. For the most part, Nerlens wasn't out there a whole lot when Embiid was, but he was out there with him in the first quarter. It was good to see Nerlens got some lobs thrown. I think that's the best way to use Nerlens when he's out there. I'd like to see that a little bit more. Chris Paul and SGA just throwing lobs to Nerlens, because you throw it up there where only he can get it, he's gonna bring it down. He did miss one, but he got the rebound, got it back out. So it's good to see Nerlens. He did foul out. His last foul that he had was kind of weak, but that's a whole different issue. Like I said about Terrence Ferguson, hopefully he's that last piece that the Thunder need to win these close games, because the whole season has kind of felt like when we've had these close games, it's felt like the Thunder just needed like one more guy. Didn't know if that was going to come from a guy who's already on the team, or maybe we're going to trade for somebody. Very happy to see that come from Ferguson. Had an awesome defensive game too. Although Josh Richardson did score a lot of points. Let's talk about Billy Donovan a little bit. The defensive scheme he kind of had for Joel Embiid was really good. I think this was probably one of Billy Donovan's best games since he's been with the Thunder. He really, if Joel Embiid had the ball, we tried to keep him out of the post. When he had the ball and it looked like he was going to go for the score, brought some double teams. Everybody moved around and was running around and gave a lot of effort on defense. It really felt like a good defensive game, even though it was one of the games where we kind of gave up a lot of points. This was kind of a weird game to say because everything felt really good. But, the Sixers played good, obviously. They sent it into overtime. But Billy did throw Abdul Nader out there for 16 minutes. He was +3 while he was out there, but he didn't really seem to do a whole lot. I would have liked to see Billy throw maybe Burton out there because I feel like Burton's been playing a little bit better, and Nader's kind of. I do like Nader, but he's kind of crazy. Like to see him when he has the ball just calm down a little bit. He got to calm down a little bit. Obviously he's an okay 3-point shooter. His drives this year haven't been too great. They were a little bit better last year. Just kind of weird that Billy kind of threw him out there for 16 minutes in place of Hami. I honestly, for this game, Burton might have been the better choice, but that's what Billy did. Like I said, the Thunder played pretty good defense. A lot of double teaming Joel Embiid, and on offense they kind of moved the ball around a little bit, found some open shots. Gallinari was hitting some contested shots. Chris Paul in the fourth quarter was using the pick and roll to get a lot of mid-range fadeaway shots. It was awesome to see him close that game. For the Sixers, Joel Embiid, 31 points, 12 rebounds, 4 for 8 from 3. Tobias Harris, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 3 for 4 from 3. Josh Richardson, 28 points, 3 for 6 from 3. And Ben Simmons was 16 points, 8 assists, and 11 rebounds. So as you can kind of see, the Thunder wasn't trying to give a whole lot of points up in the paint, especially because the Sixers are a big team rolling out there with the starters with Embiid and Horford. It felt like they really made an emphasis to make the Sixers shoot a lot of threes, and they were making them, and I think that's probably what kept them in this game. If they weren't making their threes this game, this might have been a easier win for the Thunder, but the Thunder made them shoot a whole lot of threes from outside, and the Sixers were making them, and that's a big story in this game, I think. 3 guys with 20-plus points. That really tells the story for the Sixers. Really, it was a close game all the way. The Sixers got out to a hot start. Billy called a timeout, and then Thunder bounced back and get back in the game, and then take the lead at halftime. And then they played pretty good in the third quarter, one of the better third quarters we've seen in a while. They did kind of let the Sixers come back a little bit, but they did score more points. I believe Thunder scored 27 points, and the Sixers scored 24 points in the third quarter. So that was good to see. A little bit better third quarter by the Thunder. And then just a back and forth fourth quarter. Sixers had a decent sized lead, and then the Thunder came back and tied it, and then we came out and surprised the Sixers. It felt like in overtime, just came out making shots, and then they were having to foul us at the end of the game, just sending Gallinari and CP to the free throw line, and they were making their shots. Just an awesome game to see the Thunder just knocking down some free throws. It feels like we haven't seen that since we went to the finals. Yeah, so it was awesome to see that. It's the greatest thing in the world to see this team knock down some free throws. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell me what you think down in the comments and what else you guys want to see. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys later.